A coronavirus outbreak at the Nueces County Tax Assessor Collector's office at the courthouse is temporarily shutting that department down. Nueces County Tax Assessor Kevin Kieschnick announced via social media that the Tax, Motor Vehicle and Voter Registration office at the courthouse will be closed until further notice because of the COVID-19 outbreak. At this time, it is uncertain how many people in the department may have tested positive. Kieschnick said an update is expected tomorrow. Mail and online payments will work as normal.